In the heart of a martial arts gym in Atlanta, Georgia, under the harsh glow of fluorescent lights, a black belt named Williams Bill stood confidently in the center of the mat. His belt gleamed as he called out to Alex John, the janitor mopping the floor nearby. "Hey, you there cleaning? How about a quick sparring match for fun?" Williams taunted on May 15, 2024, his voice dripping with mockery. "I bet you've never seen a real fight in your life, right?" Alex, a 42-year-old who had been working at the gym for just 4 weeks, paused his mopping and looked up calmly. He replied, "I don't want to bother you, sensei. Just finishing up here so you can get back to your training." Williams let out a loud, theatrical laugh that echoed through the gym, saying, "Everyone, look at this guy. Too scared to even step on the mat." The 9 students present chuckled nervously, some visibly uneasy with the situation. Unknown to Williams, Alex was hiding a profound secret. For 19 years, he had tried to erase his past as Alex Silent Storm John, a 5-time world mixed martial arts champion who retired at the peak of his career after a tragic accident that took the life of his best friend and training partner, Johnson Paul, known as Tony Hammer. Alex had vowed never to fight again, a secret even his teenage daughter was unaware of. Williams, oblivious, pressed on with an arrogant grin, saying, "Come on, man, just a little demo. I bet you can't even pull off a basic guard. Let's show my students the gap between a trained fighter and someone who just cleans." Alex felt a familiar stir in his chest, like a long-dormant muscle waking up. His eyes briefly met Williams, and something in that glance made the instructor falter for a moment. Still, Williams persisted, "Just an educational spar, nothing serious, to show the beginners why respecting the martial art matters." Alex set his bucket down and stood slowly, his movements fluid in a way that seemed odd for someone presumed untrained. The students stopped their drills, sensing something significant unfolding. "All right," Alex said, his voice calm like a still lake before a storm, "but when we're done, you'll apologize to everyone for turning this mat into a circus." Williams' laugh was strained as he replied, "Apologize? You'll be the one kissing the floor, buddy." The gym grew quiet as Alex stepped onto the mat, his presence radiating a quiet intensity. What no one knew was that Alex had once been a legend, retiring undefeated after a career-ending accident that left him burdened with guilt and determined to live a quiet, anonymous life. Williams, relishing the spotlight, gathered the students, proclaiming, "You're about to witness a lesson worth more than 7 months of training. The difference between those who live for martial arts and those who, well, scrub the floors where real fighters tread." He added with a dramatic gesture, "This is a perfect example of someone who doesn't know his place. Elite gyms aren't for, certain types." Alex felt a familiar pang, recalling the prejudice he faced 19 years ago as a fighter. A young student, Lizzie Ben, a purple belt and sports psychology master student, spoke up hesitantly, "Sensei Williams, maybe we should stick to our regular training. It's getting late." Williams snapped, "Lizzie Ben, are you questioning my methods? Sit down and watch. You'll learn more in the next 6 minutes than in a month of drills." Alex noticed Williams' use of Lizzie's full name as a power move and saw the fear in her eyes, reminding him of his own past, haunted by the accidental death of Johnson Paul during a sparring session, triggered by racist taunts from a crowd. Williams sneered, "So, Janitor, how about showing my students a basic guard? Or is that too tough for someone who only pushes a mop?" Alex stood still, his eyes closing briefly as memories of a Las Vegas ring flooded back, where similar taunts preceded the tragedy that ended his career. Williams circled him, taunting, "What's wrong? Scared?" Then, Williams made a fatal error. He gave Alex a light shove on the shoulder. Alex absorbed it without budging, his feet rooted like ancient oaks, making Williams feel as if he'd pushed a brick wall. "Interesting," Alex muttered, his voice shifting the room's atmosphere. Williams, misreading the moment, doubled down, saying, "Hear that, folks? He thinks it's interesting. Let's show him the difference between thinking and knowing." Lizzie watched with growing unease, noting Alex's subtle muscle tension and controlled breathing, reminiscent of predators she'd studied in documentaries. Williams, irritated by Alex's calm, threatened, Last chance, buddy. Step up like a man, or I'll have security escort you out, and you'll lose your job. Alex opened his eyes slowly, his gaze locking onto Williams with an authority that silenced the room. All right, he said, but when we're done, you'll explain to your students why you turned a place of learning into a circus of humiliation. Williams' laugh was nervous as Alex's presence stirred a long-dormant strength, not anger, but a refined control honed over 19 years. As the students formed a circle, Williams announced, "You're about to see a lesson worth more than 7 months of training, the gap between those who dedicate their lives to martial arts and those who clean up after real fighters." Alex stood motionless, his breathing shifting, transporting him back to the Atlanta combat arena 21 years ago, on March 8, 2003, where he faced similar prejudice before his world title fight against Dan, the Demolition Man Willie. That night, he won by technical knockout in the second round, but the racist comments led to the sparring accident that killed Johnson Paul. Lizzie, studying sports psychology, interrupted firmly, "Sensei Williams, why is it necessary to humiliate someone just doing their job?" The room fell silent. Williams, flustered, retorted, "This isn't about race, it's about respect for the martial art and knowing your place." Alex, reminded of his late sister Tonya, who died at 17 from a stray bullet in a police confrontation, saw her defiance in Lizzie's stand against injustice. Williams threatened Lizzie, saying, "If you can't respect my methods, find another gym." Alex smiled, a calculated expression of someone rediscovering his purpose after 19 years of guilt. He said, "Williams, the young lady's right. This isn't about martial arts, it's about you belittling others to feel important." Williams, red with indignation, snapped, "How dare you lecture me about martial arts? You don't even know what a dojo is." Alex stepped forward, his posture shifting into a perfect fighting stance, and replied, "Actually, I know exactly what a dojo is, and this place stopped being one long ago." Williams felt a chill as Alex's movements radiated a presence that triggered his instincts. Assuming his favorite fighting stance, he growled, "Enough talk. I'll teach you respect the hard way." Lizzie, observing Alex's economy of movement and calm presence, recognized traits of legendary fighters she'd studied. Alex offered, "Last chance to apologize to her, to your students, and to make this a learning space again." Williams laughed nervously, saying, "You'll be begging for forgiveness when you're down." Alex had already cataloged Williams' weaknesses, a high guard exposing his body, a predictable retreat, and telegraphed punches. As Williams threw a technically perfect jab on May 15, 2024, Alex slid aside effortlessly, leaving Williams off balance. "Nice try," Alex said, "clean technique, decent speed, but you telegraphed it with your right shoulder." Williams' second attack, a jab-straight hook combo, met the same fate. Alex dodged with minimal movement, leaving Williams exposed. "Interesting combination," Alex noted, "works against those who stand still, but your left side's wide open." Williams, sweating and frustrated, shouted, "Stop dancing and fight." His third, desperate attack missed entirely, and Alex closed the distance, saying, "Want to know the difference between gym-trained and ring-forged fighters?" With a gentle touch to Williams' chest, Alex sent him flying backward, landing 2 meters away on his back. The room fell silent as Williams, unharmed but stunned, tried to process the force. Lizzie, who had researched Alex on her phone, read aloud, "Alex John, also known as Silent Storm, 5-time world mixed martial arts champion, retired undefeated after a 21-year career, following an accident that resulted in the death of his training partner." Williams, pale, stammered, "5-time world champion?" Alex confirmed, "I retired at 30. Since then, I've taken jobs like cleaning, maintenance, simple life, no spotlight." Williams, his arrogance shattered, apologized sincerely to Alex, Lizzie, and the students. Alex accepted, saying, "Apologies are just the start. What will you do differently?" Lizzie asked Alex if he'd teach, to which he replied, "Maybe, but not just techniques. To teach that respect comes from character, not belts." 3 months later, on August 22, 2024, the gym had transformed. Alex became an instructor, teaching advanced techniques and martial arts philosophy. Williams lost most of his students after Lizzie's video of the incident went viral, ruining his reputation. Lizzie thanked Alex, saying, "You taught me true strength doesn't need display to be recognized." Alex responded, "The best lesson, never judge by job or looks. Everyone has stories that surprise." Williams, teaching at a smaller gym with newfound humility, learned arrogance has a price, while Alex proved greatness lies in character, not titles.